Hello. So I know it's been a while since I posted my last Let's Draw video, but I am still here. This art wizard just has more things going on outside of YouTube, but I'm still cooking up videos and drawings for you guys to watch on YouTube, so JCal Arts isn't dead. And I have obviously switched up my settings as far as how I want to present my videos, so that took some time as well. But enough of the preamble and on to the actual drawing. I'm going to have give you guys a little context for today's drawing. So I own Clip Studio Paint, which is a digital art software, and the owners of Clip Studio Paint are currently hosting a competition for digital artists who use their software, where you can enter submissions under a certain hashtag that I'll probably post on screen. And they have a selected prompt that you have to base your drawing on and everything. And so you're just seeing my personal submission that I've already submitted by the time this video has come out, and the prompt that Clip Studio has for the current art competition going on is your favorite season along with your favorite activity to do in said season. So I misunderstood the prompt personally, and I thought it had to be the current season you're living in, and for me and my neck of the woods, that'll be fall. But anywho, I still enjoy drawing the drawing that you see on screen of my OCs just laying around in a pile of fall leaves wearing different types of sweaters, because sweaters for me are the favorite thing to do in fall. That's like the big highlight, along with flies dying and finally going back to the depths of hell where they belong. So yay. So let me start off by saying this is a drawing that I spent the most time on by far, because I have largely stuck to body sketches, and I know I did a video about drawing a comic for the first time, but I wanted to put my best foot forward for this submission to this art competition. So I had to read through different guides about shading, both online and offline, and I had to touch up some designs on my original characters, get them in the most presentable fashion, which I'll get into. And so your art wizard was really putting his best foot forward and creating a magical masterpiece. And it took the art wizard quite some time to actually submit a drawing in an art competition digitally, because art wizard gets some nerves and there's no amount of magic that can make that go away. But I have finally conquered my nervousness, and I'm actually doing this. I'm putting a submission forward, so wishing me the best, crossing my fingers. So I'm going to give you the name of my original characters so you guys can keep track with who I'm talking about if I reference them later in this Let's Draw video. So I'm going to start with the character holding his hands behind his head on the bottom left corner, and then we'll work our way clockwise. And if you've been on the channel for a while, you probably know who these characters are anyway. So on the bottom left corner, we have Hanzo, then Olimar. On the top left corner, we have Danzo, then Sanji, Amani, and finally Yashiro in the bottom right corner. So when drawing these 6 characters during the sketch process, I wanted to basically have them pose in a way that gives off an insight to what type of personality they have or any plot significance in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted this to be like the JCal Arts drawing, because I'm basically putting my best foot forward with this one. This is an art competition submission, and if I end up cracking top 10 or getting some type of accolade from this, like, people are gonna see my profile potentially. So I wanted to make the JCal Arts drawing with my OCs I'm most confident in. So that's why I have the characters arranged in a way to basically give you a glimpse of what type of personality they have, like Hanzo taking up more space than he needs, just stretching his arms back and relaxing, pretty bored. And I wanted Olimar and Amani to have the same pose because I want to clue in to the viewers that they're related somehow. And yes, they are brother and sister, but I wanted to make that connection between the two of them in a way with a drawing and no words. And I also wanted to express the size differences between everybody, especially Danzo and Yashiro, because those two in particularly are pretty tall, and Amani and Hanzo are the shorter characters, and then Olimar and Sanji are somewhere in the middle. So let me know how I did in trying to basically size everyone around, in this picture. So I also wanted to give my original characters different sweater types to just make them stand out more. So Hanzo's wearing a sweater vest and nothing else because to him, limits are only made to be broken. Danzo and Olimar are wearing more typical long sleeve sweaters. Sanji is wearing a sweater vest over a button-up shirt and a tie. Amani is wearing a turtleneck and Yashiro is wearing a sweater hoodie. I don't know if those are a thing, but if they aren't, they're a thing in this Let's Draw, so let's pretend. And I also updated the designs for the non-human characters in this drawing, Hanzo, Danzo, Sanji, and Yashiro. And for those who've been around the channel, you know, but for those who don't know, these four are basically birthed off the idea of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if they were in their 20s and not teenagers, and anime. And I have slowly basically deturtified them, I guess, in a sense. And technically, I decoopified them as well, because originally this idea started with the Koopalings as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I've been pushing them further and further away from the Koopalings look, or the look of like Bowser and his minions in the Mario series. And I decided to give them ears that are very similar to the Kappa yokai in Japanese mythology, to really just make them further different from Bowser and the turtles that they're inspired by. And if you spot any other differences I made, you can point it out in the comment section. So if you're watching the actual time lapse, you probably saw Shaka green, and that was because originally I was going to do effectively like grass and then fallen leaves on top. And then I ended up getting the idea of like a pile of leaves, you know, later down the line, and especially when I found a leaf brush in Clip Studio Paint I installed, and I decided to just use that brush and drag it around in the background in different fall colors, red, orange, golden, yellow, brown, and ended up liking the idea a lot more. And I think it makes my picture look a lot prettier and popping out, so hopefully I grab the attention of whoever's judging the submissions. Wink wink. But I also got my hand game on point with this drawing, because y'all know sometimes hands are a struggle for me, and I'm not gonna lie, hands and feet are still the hardest things for me to draw, but I think I got my hand game on point this time, so yay me. And I end up having to basically design at least some of the sweaters, because I didn't want them to just have all blank sweaters. And having to, you know, pick out designs was kind of fun, because I just looked through the different brushes and, you know, patterns that I installed in Clip Studio Paint and just went through those. And I decided to, you know, put some pretty textures on particularly Olimar and Amani's sweaters, again, to draw the connection that these two like have some type of relation to each other. And I just had fun coming up with all sorts of new ideas in this drawing, because this is JCal Arts going hard on this one. Again, it took me 5 to 7 hours, so yeah. So this will be the final voice recording for today's Let's Draw. When it comes to the art competition, results will come out on January 9th, so I'm crossing my fingers and hoping I make it somewhere to where at least I win something. So wishing the best, and I'll update you guys on my YouTube community page, and this is a good time for you to follow my Instagram, JCal Arts, and I'll post anything over there if I end up winning anything. I also hope that the aesthetic upgrade was worth the wait, because this is how I'm going to be doing my Let's Draw videos now, because I really am finding my aesthetic with my YouTube channel. I know I say this a lot, but like, I'm actually, you know, being the artist I am and drawing more of my things, including my puppet and my intro and outro. So yeah, on to the final picture. Thank you for watching.